Yo, ¿cómo están? It's Wild on Tuesday, and thank you for joining my channel. Today, we do have a special guest, Saddle Tramp. We do have Bry the Biker, and of course, from Insane Throttle, Hollywood. And we have no fucking, I'm cursing already. No topic at all, but the whole thing here is, God damn it, I can't even last
Can't even last, man. What's wrong with you?
Man, the Viagra's kicked in. No, man. Yeah, no. So the cool thing about this show, the pregame show, there's literally no scripted questions. I never really do that, anyways. And I like getting to know people, especially as someone as Saddle Tramp, and the people that don't know Hollywood or Bry or myself, they can always ask questions throughout. And throughout the, people can ask questions all they want. And one of us will probably take a look at the comment section and bring it up. And we'll have also maybe questions and answers at the end of the show. Thanks for everybody for showing up. I see all the regulars coming on there. So Saddle Tramp, if you can just talk a little bit about your channel. I mean, I was going through I actually looked at your, what was it, Shovelhead, the Death Trap bike video that you had. Because I used to ride a little Shovelhead, man, and it brought back memories of the. So, I mean, tell us about your channel, about the whole, I mean, everything that you do in the channel.
Well, on my channel, I just pretty much do whatever comes to mind that I got coming up that I'm doing personally, but I make sure it's, motorcycle related content, that kind of stuff, whether it be I'm fixing something, I'm adding something, I'm riding something, ride my motorcycle somewheres, or bike night, vacations, or traveling, stuff like that, or even some car shows, if just any excuse to make a video, basically. But I think I pretty much got it well set up as far as a source for content, as quote Shade Tree Surgeon, as he said in one of his videos about 1.5 years ago. If you want to start a YouTube, just buy yourself an old Harley Davidson, and the content will make itself, because you constantly have to fix the thing. So I could have sworn he was talking about me, because that's all I've got in my garage. So I got 4 old Harley Davidsons, and so therefore I have a source for infinity content. So there's always something that needs to be done in that place as far as wrenching goes. So, and then on top of that, like I said, traveling, riding, and whatever else seems to come to mind. I might do something a little off the wall, like I did recently about the dealership by my place, just because it was such a lousy place to go try and buy a bike. And now it's turned a new leaf because I got new ownership, but like I said, revolving around motorcycle related content, that kind of stuff. And so, and then anyway, I'm pretty much by myself in my area. I think I don't know any other content creators in my area that's kind of doing it. So anyway, but that's I'm located down here in South Mississippi, by the way. So if anybody's curious about that, and I guess that's about where I'm at with that. You got anything else? Like any other
yeah, no. And when did you get started with YouTube?
When I get started back in 2017 is when I opened up my account. My Google account, my YouTube account, just only because I wanted to subscribe to other videos or other channels, so I can keep up with videos and stuff, and it was motorcycle type stuff. Well, I had no intention of starting a channel. I just wanted an account. And one day, after building my Sportster chopper, I was sitting in the garage one day, just bored one day, and I thought to myself, well, maybe I'll take my cell phone and do a cheap little cell phone video about how I built that bike, and just kind of, talk about what I did and put it on YouTube. And that got like a lot of hits, I guess, just because it was searchable content. I had no idea about the concept of that when it comes to making videos. Like I said, it was just so haphazard with what I was doing. And after that, I just got to thinking, well, maybe I got a few cameras laying around. Maybe I'll just do this and do that and upload that and upload this. And one thing led to another. I got good at somewhat good. Well, I don't want to say I'm good at it, but like got better at editing and making things look more glorious than what they really are. And I got to where, not only make them interesting, I kind of want to make them entertaining in some respect. So it just snowballed into what it is. And all of a sudden, this thing I didn't mean to do is now this thing I've got laying in my lap. So now I've got something to do with it.
Yeah, I really enjoy your vlogs, just because they're real vlogs, right? I mean, we do content And because I did a lot of videos and it was supposed to be vlogs, but it was MC related. And then after a while, I was like, no, I can't post any of this crap really because break all these protocols. But yours is just like everyday things, like your travels and everything, your wrenching. I tried to do that the other day when I was working on my bike, but then we were messing up so much and things were going wrong. And that's what part people want to see. But I got so frustrated, I actually threw the GoPro.
Well, what I like about, I love about Tramp, man, he reminds me of the old days, man, the old freaking engines, the old, wear your pants for a week type of deal, when it was all real. That's what I really like about his channel. But I got to ask him, panhead or shovelhead?
To be honest, that I can only give an opinion about something I am familiar with personally. So I've never owned a shovel, never owned a pan. I guess if I had to choose, I would go shovel just because nose cone shovel, just because I have a general idea of how that works because I'm so familiar with Evos. And I know that the shovel was the platform for Harley Davidson for developing the Evo. So that's why you look at the bottom ends, they're almost identical. Now I'm not saying they're completely identical, but they're so similar, but I'm always open for learning something different, I mean, I'm familiar with iron heads too, because that was my first Harley Davidson. But I can't really say as far as which is the motor to have between shovel and pan. I think that's really all just a matter of preference. It's be kind of subjective to say this is it and this is not it. Just a matter of what you like, though. I know that's kind of a long answer. Sorry about that.
It's okay. We have plenty of time for you, Phil.
I thought it was funny to watch you ride a live wire. That cracked me up, that video. Of all the people to see on a live wire, I didn't expect you. That was great.
I didn't expect it either, but they called me on the phone. Hey, you want to come ride this thing? I said, well, yeah, I guess. Sure, why not? It would be a video. I guess I'll do that, And I don't ever want to get back on one of those again, though.
TY from Tennessee, you got a new sub, Saddle Tramp. Can't wait to look through your content.
All right, on.
Nice, yeah.
Thanks a lot, TY.
Awesome.
Or Ty. I guess his name is Ty.
Yeah, it's Ty.
Well, I'm the one who still calls Bry,
That's my street name. It's okay.
No,
so Corey, what I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead. I was waiting for you to say something probably.
No, I was gonna say, so what bikes do you have in the stable? You've got the Tramp, you've got an older Electroglide, right?
Yeah, I've got the 98 Electroglide that you see back however this came, back there. Anyway, and I've got that 94 Heritage Softail that's in between the two that I swapped a perfectly good running fuel injected newer bike for that thing, and would do it all over again if I had the chance. And also then there's the bike that I call the Tramp. It just it is what it is. It's an 02 Sportster motor where the front half of the frame is a 1990, back half is a TC Bros aftermarket hardtail, well done. You got a 10 over front end. I have no idea where that front wheel came from. We've got a Fat Boy back wheel. It's got a little bit of this, a little bit of that, kind of like a Johnny Cash type bike. It's a 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, something like that. And,
Stole one piece at a time, right?
Something like. Well, I didn't steal it, but yeah.
I didn't say something.
I mean, what do you think Saddle Tramp is missing from this new generation? Do you think working on bikes has gone to the past where they take it to the dealership more, or what's your thoughts on that?
My thoughts on new generation of riders. I'll say new generation of riders because the new generation as a whole isn't as much interested in motorcycles. But those who are a new generation of riding, whether they be 40 years old and it's their first bike, or 20 years old or whatever. I don't know. I mean, it's just what's missing from it is what I'm familiar with from when I first got into the scene was a sense of camaraderie, and a sense of I don't know how to put it. It's just there is a lot of people don't know how to work on their machines, but then again, Harley has made, well, I say Harley, I guess I'm thinking in the Harley type aspect. Harley has made those bikes where you can't, the average Joe can't do anything with them anyway. And you need a guy with a PhD and, and a computer to tell him what's wrong with his bike, or even just to tune the thing,
And a good extractor, man. They put so much Loctite on that bitch. Like, I always break the damn bolt.
But that's just the era we're in. I can't do anything with those bikes myself, which happens to be why I have the bikes that I've got, because it's something I can do something with. It's not for the sake of having something old. It's just for the sake of having something I can be independent with, But there's a lot of people too who just like to ride as well, and that's all they want to do. They're not interested in wrenching. And one of these new bikes is okay. Well, more power to them if that's what they want. But it is a different day. I don't know if you call it something missing. It's just a different day than what it used to be.
Well, I know one thing for sure. They'll never know what it means for a Harley to mark its territory.
Oh, that's a fact. I mean, unless it's leaking gas, like some of these new bikes, some of these new M8s did with the fuel pump. They had an issue with the fuel pump with it, where they was pumping gas out as soon as they filled them up. So that's the only way that was going to leak, mark their territory in that respect.
Yeah, and you would think that'll be better timing now, because I mean, you can get parts anywhere from aftermarket. So you think for someone that wants to work on the bike and do things themselves and take part, it doesn't mean you're going to do great like I do. I'm not a wrencher, but I like messing with bikes. I say that. Then worst case scenario, I'll call my friends that know what they're doing to come and help me. But I always try to do everything myself. Usually you can get parts and videos on YouTube, right, explaining how people do step-by-step things. And so in my mind, you hope that people take that and actually try to, but they don't. Really
what do you think, Tramp, about the best engine Harley ever put out? Was it the Evolution, the Twin, the 8? I'd have to throw out the Twin because of the damn oh yeah. I had
chain tensioners.
Yeah.
I guess that's a relative thing, because let's say that it would take the Evo and the Twin Cam, for example. Both of them had their issues. Now I will say the Evo had less issues mechanically speaking than the Twin Cam did, but with the proper maintenance that each motor needs, that's relative to that motor, you can easily go 100,000 miles on them. And the reason I know that is because in 2003 I bought a Dyna Superglide brand new, and that was the old style spring tensioners, it is, and that bike has over 100,000 miles on it, and it's still running to this day. A friend of mine has it, and the reason why it has over 100,000 miles on it is because I gave it its proper maintenance, that it needed. With an Evo, you have a lot less maintenance drama. But the trade-off between the Twin Cam and an Evo, you had more horsepower, and that was the biggest thing, because all the other manufacturers were outperforming Harley Davidson. Harley Davidson was known for being a slow motorcycle compared to Honda, Kawasaki, Suzuki, all the others. So here comes Harley Davidson, produces the new 88 Twin Cam, which, bigger bore, shorter stroke, its own cam per cylinder. When it's working, it's a great machine, but it's not as tight of a motor as, say, like an Evo is in that respect. Like, for example, with the Twin Cam, they went looser with their tolerances in the bottom end. From the factory, they were like 0.02 of run out on the crank, and all the motors before that, it was no more than 0.2 of a thousandth of run out on the crank. But they can get away with that with the Twin Cam, because everything's chain driven. You can't do that with them little small gears in a tight spot. But in my book, that's a sloppy motor. But I always looked at them as kind of like a disposable motor too, and that's just my opinion. The Evos, you can keep them going, but Twin Cams are kind of like a ticking time bomb if you don't tend to certain things that are very, very, very pertinent to keeping it alive. But that's my opinion. You need special tools to work on that thing to do the cam chain tensioners. With an Evo, you just need common tools.
Do you think Harley's taken its cue instead of from itself, from its past, but now it's taken its cue from the Japanese, English, and German manufacturers to keep up with them?
Well, because I'm not privy to what they're doing as far as what their ideas are, it looks like,
The electronics, especially.
well, it looks like they're trying to be relevant to the time, so to speak. And EPA's come down on the bikes big time in well, not EPA, well, the emissions control
Yeah.
people in Europe, so much that you can't sell the Sportster over there anymore. And Harley wants to. Well, I don't know about their new CEO, but if the previous guy, from what I understand, was
Lebetic, yeah.
he was wanting to sell bikes all across the world, but to do that, you got to appeal to their certain standards. I don't know what the new CEO wants to do, but in my opinion, Harley Davidson is just another business like anything else. They're out there to make a buck. They're out there to sell a product, and they want to appeal to as many people as they can. And I guess if you're going to do that, if you're going to exist for 100 years, like they have over 100 years, I guess that's what you got to do. And I'm not defending them in that respect, but they're just, in the end, they're just another business. It's like, for example, they capitalized on in the 80s and in the 80s, I think even part of the 90s, they capitalized or catered towards the outlaw image, because those are the guys that are buying the bikes. And then that movie Terminator comes out, and next thing you know, everybody wants a fat boy, or Terminator 2, that is. And so here's a new wave of people who want to ride Harley Davidsons, and then Harley Davidson can't keep up with the supply and demand because they're not used to that many people wanting that many bikes from them. And so here's a whole nother generation of people or class of people that wants a Harley Davidson. Well, if they're smart and if they're a business and they want to make money, you're going to cater to the people who's going to spend the money, which I think, my opinion, I think that's why they raised the prices like they did, out of greed or whatever. But yeah, to answer your question, I think they're trying to be more on board or more, going with the flow as the other manufacturers so that they can bring in some of those customers as well. For example, an example of that would be like the Pan America.
I love that bike.
Yeah.
And they're trying to bring in customers from people who do that kind of riding.
What's the price point on that Pan American again? I forgot.
I want to say 19, but I don't know if that's right.
Somewhere between 18 and 22 or something like that.
Did you get to ride that, Corey?
No. Right before they was going to let me ride that thing, it started raining. The ironic thing was they were telling me all about the rain mode, but they didn't.
You can't take the adventure bike out in the rain. That's classic Harley. There you go.
Yeah. But it's on rain mode.
Do you think Indian's going to give Harley a run for their money, especially with Dark Horse?
I really don't know. I don't really keep up with Indian very much. I know I don't know. There's a lot of people who were who were fed up with Harley that went and bought Indians and they're riding Indians and stuff. But I really don't know how to answer that because I'm just not keeping up with that lineage or that brand.
Yeah, I mean, Indian's doing a good job of kind of package out the box. They're just putting a lot of upgrades, flux shocks and better stereos and better, performance. But I mean, it depends. At the end of the day, it depends on what you really, because there's a lot of guys I know that were hating Harley because all the crap going on. They got an Indian and then they probably lasted 5 months and they went back to a Harley because they said something about the feel of the bike. And that's what they were used to. Doesn't mean that it's a better bike. Just the same thing when I bought my Road Glide. I was almost buying the Challenger, but for some reason I was like, on paper, the specs are so much better. I just felt more comfortable on the Road Glide and it felt like home. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to ride something every day. I'm going to buy the bike that I can even upgrade and make changes if I want, but if it's going to be comfortable.
Well, the Indians. Oh, go ahead.
The Indians don't feel as solid to me. They feel like a glorified Victory. And not that Victory was a bad bike for its price point, but I just feel like it doesn't have that solid Harley feel to it. And at least here, I've seen 2-year-old bikes for like half the price. So they don't seem to hold their value as far as a bike that if you want to swap it around.
Well, I don't think they're going to really be a contender against Harley until they get a dealer network going, because their dealer network is nowhere near what Harley's is.
Oh, no. Well, they're suffering like everybody else is, too. Like with the whole being able to get their inventory up to par like it used to be, because everybody's having issues getting stuff. You know, if it looks like some of the Harley dealerships around me, they look like they're not affected by that. But truth be known, most of their inventory is used bikes. So you walk into an Indian dealership, like, well, I say this because the one closest to me, they're almost empty. And it's because they can't get anything.
Yeah, there's more used Harleys there than Indian bikes.
That's true.
And I think that's kind of what Harley's problem's been, is they're competing against themselves in the secondary market.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what are your thoughts on the certified bikes that they're trying to start? Do you think that that's a win for them, or do you think that that's just marketing?
What do you mean certified on it?
They're doing this Harley certified program where they used to do, you know how they used to have like the certified Fords, where it's supposed to be it's supposed to give, I think, a year warranty and a bunch of other things. It seems like they're trying to find value in those used bikes, or at least the perceived value for customers.
I see what you're saying. I think it's just probably another way to keep their heads above water during these trying times.
Yeah.
You know, just another way to sell something. That's what I see it as.
Well, their new strategy with the CEO was just like back in 1994 when they stripped the inventory from the dealerships, and then now they're pushing the CVOs real hardcore. And it looks like they're taking a page back from back then to now to push the bigger bikes and keep inventory low on the dealer floor.
Make it that perceived shortage thing.
Anonymous biker was saying, just ride a bike, pick a bike and ride it. I mean, my thing, that's what, pick what you like. I mean, don't get a bike because of brand. I mean, I actually went around I was almost pushing my way to look at Harley again. And I said, no, I'm going to ride every bike possible, every brand, and then just pick the bike I felt the most comfortable. That's it. I didn't care if it was going to end up being an Indian or something else.
Well, that's like me, man. I love if it's got two wheels, I love it. I got the 15 lowrider, the lowrider now, but I actually ride around on the boulevard more than I do the Dyna.
It's a great bike.
Oh yeah,
that's what I used to have.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And me, I love to get my hands on the new Pan America, but I also like the African Twin. You know, I think the African Twin is probably going to be driving more sales than the Pan America because it's just a different type of Jenner or biker, because in that area off-roading, it's always been Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, and Harley Davidson's just trying to break into it now. And I don't think
better, right? And the price point's better?
Well, the price point on the African Twin is comparable. But I just think it's more time tested because, well, like everybody else, man, the first couple of years you're going to have nothing but problems with the new models. But Honda's proven itself in the off-road market.
So that's the one thing I like with Honda. They're not afraid to take chances. They'll just come out with something crazy if they want to.
I don't know. Personally, I love the old school stuff, man. The 1970s CB750 hardtail choppers, man, that you die on by the time you're done, even if you were 20 years old.
Yeah, I like old cars, bikes. I mean, I just bought a 1960 MGA Classic, MGA little British car. Had a Dodge Dart, old school 1969 Dodge Dart. 71 Demon. So I just like old things.
Is that more what you're into, Saddle Tramp? Is just the old stuff compared to what's your thoughts on the new? You know, have you taken any test rides or anything like that on the new stuff?
Yeah, I have. Actually, I did a couple of videos, well, about a year and a half ago, just test riding the M8 for the first time for me. I mean, they were already out for almost a year by that time. I rode the Lowrider S and I rode the Heritage. And then I did another video where I was test riding a Road Glide and then the Iron 883. And I think they're very fine machines for what they are. They're good bikes. They handle well. In fact, they actually handle better than what I've got. But you know, I mean, they're great bikes for anybody that I'll say it like this: they're great bikes for anybody who just wants to ride, who's just getting into the field of riding, and they want a Harley Davidson. They're better off with a new bike than they are with an older one because they don't know anything about it. That way, somebody else will fix it. You know. As far as me, what I'm into, it's just like I've said it before to somebody else that it's like I don't have old stuff because I like old stuff. It just happens to be what I want out of a motorcycle falls into that genre. And it's just like with, most of my automobiles I've ever had has always been stuff I can work on. And same with a motorcycle, I'm 100%, well, I'll say 100, not necessarily 100%, but I'm about 97% independent from having to take my stuff to somebody to get it fixed. And if I did, if I didn't know how to work on what I've got now, there wouldn't be any dealership around here that would touch what I've got with the 10-foot pole because of the age. There are some mom and pop shops around here that do stuff like that, but I think I'm just as capable of working on my own stuff as they are as well. Unless I just don't feel like it. And I say, here, will you do this for me?
I don't know. One thing I would love to do is grab somebody that's between 21 and 25, sit them on a freaking 1970s whatever, and have them kick that thing. They wouldn't know what to do with themselves.
I'll tell you what I did do this weekend, though, and this is going to come out in a future video. This weekend, I rode up to Tupelo, Mississippi, about 300 miles north of me, to crash a party. Hold on a second. Anyway, went to go crash a party that CMA was putting on. They didn't know I was coming, and all the people from those chapters up there don't know me. Nobody from this chapter down here was going, so I'm thinking I'm going to go to it. So went and pitched a tent in the local state park up there. But anyway, I had a buddy of mine go with me. Well, his bike was down. He's used to riding twin cams and stuff like that. Well, his bike was down. Didn't know when it's going to get fixed. I said, well, hey, why don't you ride one of my bikes? So I let him ride the Softail, and he's never rode anything but a twin cam. So here he is. He's going to ride this rigid mounted Evo Softail, 600 miles for a weekend. And I'm thinking to myself, he's going to be missing his Dyna. So I love that Evo, but he's going to be missing this Dyna. So after about halfway through the trip, I looked at him and said, all right, what do you think? Evo or twin cam? He says Evo. I was like, you kidding me? So you're going to be in market for an Evo pretty soon? So he said, oh yeah. Well, how much you want for this one? I was like, oh my goodness. So I guess I made a convert,
That's really funny.
He was down in Tupelo, man. That one room freaking shack of Elvis Presley down there.
Oh yeah. I did walk around that place.
I couldn't believe a person can live in just one room with all them people. It is literally one room.
You visited the place. Did you go to that little church that's on that property?
Yeah, right behind the regular one, right behind his house.
Yeah, I went to go to look at that church, but you had to buy a ticket to get in there.
Oh, okay.
So I went and snuck in there anyway with no ticket. And I had my camera.
One of the best rides in Mississippi is the Natchez Trace, I have to say.
Oh, the Natchez, yeah. I haven't been on that one yet, believe it or not.
Oh, it's a beautiful ride, man. You just don't want to go over the speed limit because it's a federal thing, and they will get your ass.
Oh, that's a fact. That's what I've been hearing. It's 55 the whole way.
Yeah, you go 55. You don't go 56. You don't go 57. You go 5.
I tell you what's another cool place in Mississippi, and I found this on accident, and it was when I was doing the Crossroads video.
Love that video.
I'm sorry, it wasn't when I was doing the Crossroads video, but I discovered it because of the Crossroads video. Is this hotel called the Shack Up Inn, and it's literally a dump, but it's a hotel, and they make it look like a dump, but it looks so run down, but it's a cool place to be at, and they have some of the coolest parties that happen there on the weekends, with blues bands and stuff like that. I mean, you go and pay money so you can stay in a shack, or they're not. It's not like they got cockroaches and rats or anything like that, but it's a cool place, and it's right there on Highway 49, just on the south side of Clarksdale. And you wouldn't know it was a hotel. When I drove past it the first time, I thought it was like where they grind corn or something like that.
That's the one that's all kind of mishmashed, right? It's just sort of haphazardly built. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of metal shacks all put together.
Well, you got family from there, but I think the best riding has to be in this country is West Virginia.
Oh yeah, hands down.
It is God's country out there.
Hands down.
Yeah, I haven't been out there. I've been through Montana and different places like that, which is beautiful too, but I haven't been to West Virginia at all.
Riding through West Virginia on them mountains, you look over the side about 2,000 feet down, man. Don't mess it up, man. That's what I'm telling you.
My attention span is really bad enough, man. I'll kill myself.
Yeah, you look down off the cliff and you see the clouds below you.
Oh yeah, and it's funny, man. Them crazy, I was gonna say, so I can't swear, but they're nuts, man. It's pitch black out there. It's like they got the feel for the road. They'll go like 90 around a curve and not even bat an eye.
That's nuts.
So, what got you into motovlogging and all that, Tramp?
Actually, it's funny. While I was making videos, I saw somebody else doing it, talking while they're on their motorcycle, and I thought to myself, hey, I can do that. But I never really been into me myself doing like a video that's all motovlog. I use a motovlog as a like a tool, as an ingredient to a video. So that because I like to have a video that kind of
Mashes up,
has different frames here and there and stuff like that. Usually I use my motovlogs as if I do a motovlog, I'll use it as a conclusion to what I was just doing. And I don't do them very often because I just for some reason just don't think to do it. But every once in a while it comes to mind, hey, that'd be a good idea to do that, put that in there. So that's a good idea, especially when I'm doing like I'm working on a bike, I'm doing something new to the bike, or whatever. Then I'm going to test ride it and then motovlog. That's usually a good spot to do that.
Well, I got to give it to the motovloggers. I've been trying it on my other channel, trying to get that damn audio right and everything else right, all the editing, where on my show, on my radio show, all I have to do is hit 2 buttons and I'm good. But there's all this editing stuff. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Especially the worst is when you're actually recording something and never recorded, or
Mike falls out,
or that fast forward, whatever the time warp thing.
Oh, that sucks.
Oh my God, I did that the other day. I had a whole thing, and it was a nice long ride, and then and that's it. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
One of the recent videos I did where I went to Kentucky, and there's this scene. See, I have my wife filming. If she's with me, I gotta hand her the camera because I hate holding the camera and riding at the same time. I just hate doing that. It's dangerous. Yeah. So she's filming us going through Nashville, but somehow ended up hitting the hyperlapse. So that's why it's crazy looking in that part of the video. It looks like we're hauling ass through Nashville at 900 miles an hour. And it actually worked. It was pretty good.
You played it. You put because how you mash up your videos, you can just fit it in there.
Yeah, that's it.
Mine was my video.
But as far as motovlogging, though, I think what's even just as frustrating is when your battery dies in the middle of the thing and you don't even know it happened.
Or the storage is full because I didn't really erase all the other videos.
Or you forgot to put the SD card in or something.
It's always something dumb. Or, one time I even had the case without the camera in it.
Yeah.
I thought it was on the helmet, but I think I took it off, and it was just a case. And then I was riding, going, "Really?"
That's funny.
What do you think about all the entertainers, and I call them entertainers, coming into the biker entertainment niche? What do you think about all the different types of points that everybody is hidden on? You got motovloggers, you got the news, you got the, you got the pro, you got them all. I think it's a lot better now compared to when in our day we had to wait for Easy Riders magazine to come out to find out anything going on.
Well, I think it's a pretty cool little advent, like what you said. You have to look at Easy Riders, you have to look at the local publisher to see what's going on, but you got the advent of the internet and people putting out stuff on YouTube or Facebook or whatever, talking about this, that, and the other. And I think the cool thing that it's done, it as a result, it's sort of have created a community amongst those who ride. People, people who end up meeting or making acquaintances, from several states away or maybe a few towns away who you didn't even know each other existed when you know what I mean. And so you got something in common, and then you hear about certain rallies going on, like Adam Sandoval's deal with the Stubborn American Rally, and everybody goes to that. Or I think it's a pretty cool thing,
This community is amazing. It never surprises me the amount of people that are willing to help you. If you have a question or you get stuck, there's not a lot of ego. Well, there's a lot of ego, but generally
there is
speaking,
a lot of egos. But what I found was the independents and the motovlog community are real tight because you don't have the politics of what we deal with. But Vegas SOLR, he asked, what's everyone's thought about TikTok? I have one, and it seems easier to make videos and gain followers.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about TikTok too, I mean, some people there's these events that they host to just gain followers. You can gain 1,000 followers within a couple of hours, or not even an hour, 30 minutes. So some of these people, they get all these followers and they keep up with I mean, of course that's the new thing, and I think it's pretty cool and funny. I like watching funny things on there.
Yeah.
But the YouTube subbing, I noticed getting a sub on YouTube is way harder than any other platform.
Oh, damn right it is.
To follow, like Instagram is. I mean, I don't do anything Instagram, but that's not as hard as YouTube. But then TikTok's probably the easiest to get.
Right. Well,
I think
real hard. It's hard to get. I'll let you go, Bry. Go ahead. My bad.
No, it's fine.
With YouTube, it's real hard because they have that algorithm where you have to meet certain points, and that's why I like doing my Thursday videos where you promote other channels, because I know what it was like back then trying to start out, because my biggest platform at the time was Facebook and our podcast stuff, and breaking into YouTube is just a whole different ball game with the different rules you got to go by now. And especially when it comes to the comments section, you got to really watch out what you're doing with comments, because Black Dragon and myself got throttled down where we were basically shadow banned for some of the material we would cover. So it's a lot different than the other platforms.
Yeah, I even noticed because I'm not really consistent like most people. Then if I skip several weeks of posting a video, my algorithm gets really kicked to crap. And of course, if you're posting on every day at the same time, the algorithm picks it up better. So it's something you got to stay on top.
Well, and I think it's hard too because you become a slave to the machine. Like you said, if you post off, or I was learning about SEO the other day, and you start learning about that stuff, and you're like, oh, this is just a rabbit hole. There's so much work.
There's a lot of motovloggers have awesome videos, and there's like 200 people watched it, 200 views, and I'm like, great video, but they posted it probably in a weird time.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of hard. A lot of people, when I started, it was a few years back, and it was more of a, close circle within the, the niche. But as more and more people got into it, it seems like the algorithm blew up. It don't know where the hell to send people at, and you got to rely on each other now. And that's why I always tell the bigger channels, why ain't you guys helping these younger ones, man? Help them out, get them out there, because I do remember the days of Outlaw Biker Magazine, Easy Riders, and it was, man, you had to wait a long time just to hear stuff, and now you got all many type of viewpoints and all that good stuff, different events. Tramp and know this one. Easy Riders used to sell a VHS tape of their events. Now you can get them right on the internet as it's happening.
Yeah.
That's what frustrates me, is I feel like everybody's living vicariously through the camera, where it's taken away from the event. And it's just, I don't know. You go somewhere and everybody's got their camera out. All right, can we just talk?
You're like, it's literally 3D in front of you, but you're watching it through 2D, and you're never going to watch that recording ever again. or pictures. I mean, maybe once to show a friend, but that's about it. And the whole time they're watching through their camera, and the person's right there or the event, or whatever.
I mean, Tramp, your channel your channel has a really good following, and the people that follow you are loyal. What do you think's the recipe for your success? I mean, other than, your personality, I can see where people gravitate to it, but
I think it's just honesty, being real with people. And I think that's what it is, because I hear that so much. And I think what a lot of it is that, well, people have told me they can come to my channel and tune out with what's going on in the world. What's on the news, what's going on in their neighborhood, what's going on. Because I guess it's just because I purposely shy away from touching on cultural issues or politics or
best thing
stuff
to do
like that. And as a result, it tends to attract people from all walks of life. Because I don't really tell people what side I'm on, even though I think they know what side I'm on, but I don't talk about it,
Right.
But I think that's probably it. I mean, in fact, I asked that question one time a while back in community. That's pretty much what people told me, is because it's real stuff. Some people told me that I remind them of Mr. Rogers. I've been called the Mr. Rogers of motorcycles.
You need a red sweater
Mr.
now.
Roger.
I'll never unsee this. There it is.
Yeah.
Hashtag Mr. Roger.
We're gonna put you on that meme with his when he's flicking off the two little fingers.
Well, one of my Canadian friends or followers, he sent me a T-shirt, a Mr. Rogers T-shirt. Said, "Won't you be my neighbor?" And he put my name on the back of it.
We need a garage video of you changing your sneakers into boots or vice versa. That's all I want out of life now.
Where's Big Smitty? He needs to do an intro for him.
There you go. Hello, friends.
How you doing, Julio? Vid. Have you guys watched Itchy Boots?
How's it going?
Yes.
She has been riding her bike all over the world for a couple years. Rock on, man. Hell
I
yeah.
want to say thanks to everybody on the comment section. Duke, Luke, Julio, Anonymous. Everybody's there. A bunch of people.
Yeah.
Fighter, Paul, all these guys, the people are always on. Thanks for being on there. If you guys have questions, go ahead and ask questions. Like I said, it's 6:43. We can be here a little longer. I know we have the show after this, the roundtable at Black Dragon's channel. So if you guys want to go there, I don't know if you want to post a link there or something. Hollywood.
Well, he just brought up a real good point about keeping the politics out of the game. Where most of our channels, we got that center, we got that core base, and it's hard for us to reach out because we're already, tagged in that. And I think that's the best thing you independent channels can do is stay out of all that crap. That's just me personally.
It's too much headache.
Oh yeah, it's too much headache. Trust me.
Well, also, YouTube's actually where I go to forget about all the crap that's going on, because everything that's going on is bigger than me, and there's nothing I can do about it. So life's too short to be pissed off all the time, So just enjoy yourself,
Anonymous Biker wants to know if you ever went over 87 miles per hour.
I almost did that this weekend, but I forgot
I got it for $20. Luke said.
Yeah.
Biggie Smith, big Smitty, man, you really do got to do an intro for freaking hashtag Mr. Rogers here.
This could be the next call out video for sure. Everybody has to do a Saddle Tramp impression with your blessing, of course. I'm
gonna have to go buy me one of those sweaters and the shoes, like what you're talking about.
That'd be
yeah.
Hey Hollywood, you saw that? Hey Hollywood, you saw that? That Bry was asking for a blessing. They have their own politics.
I don't want to lose all my subs because I'm making, somebody takes it the wrong way.
You don't have to be PC, man. If that was the case, man, I'd have lost everybody by now.
Smitty says he's going to do it.
Dude,
you just got to be yourself.
Cool. You can't be that close, Oh, that's funny.
Have you ever listened to the Morning Hoot, man? I'm like freaking, they got these feminists out there with the freaking pitchforks and the flames after me, man, the way I talk.
Do they go into China Doll's channel?
China Doll, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, she wants to kill me half the time. Half the time after we get off the air, she won't talk to me 2-3 days. She was embarrassed to bring me to her reunion. You believe that? Well, I don't know what you're gonna say.
That makes it fun.
I was in hell at that reunion, man. I was in yuppie hell. I was like, man, I just went and picked myself up a space and left it alone.
But they all had Harleys if they're yuppies, so you have something to talk about.
No, this is where they the big freaking Corvettes and shit type of people, man. So, but Wild on 2, I got to get over and get ready for the next show.
I want to thank you very much, Saddle Tramp. It's great.
Yes. Really appreciate it, Saddle.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me.
I
appreciate the invite. It's good to meet you guys, and talk to you verbally, not just digitally typing on the in the comments all the time.
Everybody, if you ain't subscribed to Tramp's channel, something's wrong with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Corey. We do appreciate it.
Everybody, hit up everybody's channel if they can. Bry the Biker, Insane Throttle, obviously mine. Wild on 2s. But yeah, check everybody's channel, help each other out. I mean, that's what we're doing. This is just to mix match with any subs that viewers that we have to see new content. Like our viewers, a lot of MC related, but then now we're introducing them to more different content, which is getting great feedback from. So
yeah, all about supporting the community.
Yeah,
rock and roll, guys.
All right, guys. Well, thank you.
Thank you, guys. Have a good Sunday.
All right.
Talk to you.
Respect.
Thanks, everybody.